I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Zach.
And we're traveling A to Z.
This week we're going from Cottonwood Pass to Mt.Whitney.
So we just turned on the road to the Whitney Portal. We're gonna go hike to the highest point in the continental United States.
We are gonna hike all the way up there.
We are ending our hike at the Mt.Whitney Portal. This is where most people start the day hike up to Mt.Whitney.
So we're weighing our backpacks start and finish. 44 pounds for me.
Woo!
Like 40? I call it 40.
40 pounds?
Okay, moment of truth. Ashlyn's gonna see how much her backpack weighs. She normally carries about 25 pounds, so.
It's heavy.
What do you got there, babe?
Oh shit, that's really heavy. That is right around 33 to 34 pounds. That's about 10 pounds heavier than I normally carry. And we're gonna do that going up 6,000 feet of elevation gain. Awesome.
So we are doing a through hike. We left one car at the Whitney Portal where we're going to end, and we are now driving up to Horseshoe Meadows. We are going to leave our other car there, and then we're gonna hike the Cottonwood Pass.
So we are currently at Cottonwood Pass. We are at the start of our about 44 mile hike, and we are going to take Cottonwood Pass all the way up to the top of Mt.Whitney and out of the Mt.Whitney Portal. I really wanted to go hike Mt.Whitney. I've been trying to get the lottery, which you apply for in February, multiple times and have been unsuccessful. And so this is the other way to do it. You go from Cottonwood Pass and just get a backpacking wilderness pass, which is pretty easy to get. You just get it 2 weeks prior, and then you could exit Whitney and you still could go hike Whitney without having to go through the whole lottery and not being successful. So I'm super excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and it should be a great adventure.
We're about 100 feet in. My backpack's already getting heavy.
So it says we're in the golden trout forest. I thought we were in the Inyo forest, so I'm not sure what forest we're actually in. But we're leaving Cottonwood Pass campground, and we are heading to our first campsite, which is Chicken Lake. It's supposed to be between, I think, 4.5 to 5 miles, depending on what source you use. And it's supposed to have a nice little campground with a lake, so we have a water source. It should be nice.
Chicken Springs Lake, this way.
We're getting closer. We're 2 miles in.
No, we're not.
We're 1 mile in. This is our first river crossing. Here goes Ashlyn.
I'm not gonna fall in.
Heard that before.
Piece of cake.
Well, we're climbing up. We've climbed about 500-600 feet so far. Halfway to the top.
So you go about 2 miles, fairly flat area from Cottonwood Pass campground, and then you head up this hill. There's lots of little switchbacks. Gain about, I think, about 1,200 feet of elevation. It's pretty brutal. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but we had to rest like every switchback because we're not used to the altitude. But it's really pretty up here. So once you get to the top of the mountain, there's a sign, and it's basically a 3 way road. So we just came from Horseshoe Meadows up the mountain. So we are heading to Chicken Lake. You actually have to take the Rock Creek to the Pacific Coast Trail north to the right, and that should lead you to where we need to go. We found a sign, Chicken Spring Lake, trail this way. So we made it to Chicken Springs Lake, and this is our first stop on our backpacking trip.
This alpine lake is beautiful, and the colors of the water are just breathtaking.
So this is our campsite number 1 all set up. We have a nice little spot, pretty flat, has some trees, so we're able to hang up our stuff.
And here's our campsite for the night.
Starting out on our second day of hiking, we're just leaving Chicken Springs Lake, and there's a nice little hill. Today's supposed to be supposing a fairly flat day, mostly downhill, but it starts out with a bang.
Well, we're about half a mile up from Chicken Springs Lake, and we just crested the hill, and we have all that in front of us.
With the lake on the other side.
So we just checked the map, the Mt.Whitney high country map, and apparently that is Big Whitney Meadow behind us.
So this trail looks like we're at a beach now. It's all sandy. We're walking through sand, and there's nothing around but rocks and sand.
No water between.
With a few trees. So we are making it into the Sequoia National Park. We are on the Pacific Coast Trail right now, and we're at 11,320 feet. So we have been hiking from Chicken Springs. We just got to the 3-way stop, and we are heading now to Crabtree. So we found a little mule horse camp. I think it's for the crews that like work on the trails. And then right past that, we come to the trail crossing. We are almost to Rock Creek. So we're about a half a mile from Rock Creek campsite, and it's gorgeous. There's this nice little meadow, and then you have the granite behind me, the mountains. It's really pretty.
We're coming up on the Rock Creek crossing, and it's pretty nice. There's a little wind blowing through. It's not too hot. It's beautiful.
The trail goes right along Rock Creek River.
So we made it to Rock Creek Campground. It's a really, really nice campground. Very peaceful. The river is like right through the campground area. They even have bear boxes, which is really nice. So from Chicken Lake Springs to Rock Creek, it was 10.3 miles. Kind of up and down, a little more down than up, but it was definitely an easier day than I think the first day. But it was definitely longer. We're heading away from the nice campsite, up the hill to the next water supply so we could cut our mileage down. Hopefully by a mile and about 1,000 foot of elevation gain. So it's not as horrible tomorrow.
We're climbing out of Rock Creek. It is quite a climb. We're up about 500 feet so far. And yeah, we're just doing switchbacks.
And that's where we came from. Way, way down there.
We are making our way towards Guyot Creek. And after that, we're going to set up camp and spend the night, and then Guyot Pass is in the morning. So a lot of climbing. We've climbed about maybe 1,000 feet since we came away from the creek.
So we made it to Guyot Creek. We're kind of at a flat area, so we set up a tent. It's not an official campsite, but pretty nice and flat and close to water. So this is where we're gonna camp for the night before we head to Guitar Lake tomorrow.
We made it through our second night. We're at Guyot Creek, just past Rock Creek. Yeah, this was a nice camping spot. The creek is kind of small. You can't swim in it. Maybe you get your feet wet, but that's about it. And yeah, we're up and we're gonna start hiking. We're gonna do Guyot Pass.
Before we then hit the next pass, and then the next pass. And then eventually about 9 miles later, we should end up at Guitar Lake. So we made it to the top of Guyot Pass. We're at about 10,900 feet elevation, and it has gorgeous views up here. A little windy, but it's really nice. And this is where we just came from, at the bottom of that hill. So we now hit the Guyot Flats, which it's pretty flat, and there's like meadows on each side of you.
And we're hiking, and we're hiking.
So we're still in the Guyot Flat. Looks like there's a fire through here at one point. There's some really cool trees and designs. So it's raining. Yeah, I'm now in all my rain gear. One of my least favorite things is rain. I don't like being wet. We'll see how this rain gear works. Hopefully it'll keep me dry-ish.
So we just came from up there. We dropped about 100 and something feet, and now we're gonna keep hiking.
So here is Crabtree Meadow. It's gorgeous, it's really pretty. So right now we're hiking around Crabtree Meadow, heading to the Crabtree Ranger Station, and it's gorgeous. There's really pretty creek right next to you, and there's wildflowers in the meadow. Pretty nice. We just made it to Crabtree Campground. We have 7.6 miles left
To the top of Mount Whitney.
So we are hiking out of someplace, heading someplace else, and it's not raining right now, so we're good.
We have a little bit of blue sky, which is one of the first times we have not had rain today, so we're gonna soak it in and try to get as far as we can. We're heading to Guitar Lake. It's about 2.7 miles, and that is going to be our camping spot for the night. So we have a good, basically early start in the morning to summit Mount Whitney, hopefully.
So we're about a mile out of Crabtree. The air is pretty thin up here, and it's not raining, so yeah, good times.
Timberland Lake. Oh, you can't camp here, but you get water. So we made it to the bottom of Whitney. We are at Guitar Lake, and you can see it in the background. And the lake looks like a guitar. It's pretty cool. It's still kind of raining. It's starting to slow down a little bit, so hopefully you can find a tent site and set up a tent before it starts raining again. So we hiked a little bit above Guitar Lake on the trail, so we have a little less hiking tomorrow. We're at the Tarrans, not sure how to say it, which is basically a little alpine lake. It has a lot of algae, so we actually filtered at the stream that's leading into Guitar Lake, but it's really nice up here. It's like kind of a coveted spot. There's only one spot up here. Everyone else is actually at Guitar Lake, and this is really nice and private.
And the views from up here are amazing. The mountains that are surrounding us are just magnificent. Words cannot explain it.
So here's our campsite for the night. It's probably one of the most beautiful campsites I've seen. Oh my God, do you hear the thunder? It is right above me. It is pouring rain. We're right under Whitney, and it's super loud.
Well, it's 5:30. We've climbed, I would guess, 1,000 feet to 1,500 feet. And yeah, this hill is no joke. But the weather's nice and it's not too hot, and we're doing it. Still climbing. We're further than we used to be. We started down there, Guitar Lake. Now we're here. We're going up there. You can't see it, but it's higher.
So there's two ways to get up to Whitney. That's not like mountaineering. One's through the Whitney Portal. The other is through the backside going through Guitar Lake. So that's the way we're going. I'm a little out of breath. We're at like 13,000 feet right now. Mt.Whitney to the left, 1.9 miles. So Whitney, 1.9 miles. We made it to Trail Crest, which is where everyone dumps their bags. And then you head up another 2 miles. We didn't make it.
A lightning and thunderstorm came in and we had to turn around. Not only was there rain, there was snow and hail. You could see the snow all over the trail right now. So let me tell you the rest of the story of how we did not summit Whitney.
So we got up around 3:30 in the morning, left around 4:30 from Guitar Lake to head up the really steep mountain, about 2,000 feet elevation gain, to the top of Trail Crest. And then we started up that mountain towards the top of Mount Whitney. We got really, really close to the top. We were probably about a half a mile from the top. We could see the little out hut, and then there was lightning and thunder, like right in front of us. My hair was like all on end. Zach's ears were buzzing. So we turned around and ran down as fast as we could because, you know, we didn't want to die from a lightning strike. So we climbed Mount Whitney, but did not summit. Sad day. But we think we got probably around 14,000 feet at least elevation gain. And it's around 14,508 feet for the top of the mountain. So we were really, really close. Next time. So right there, so that is trail camp, and that is where a lot of people stay if they're coming up the Whitney Portal before they try to summit, if you're coming the other way. And not much of a little lake, but at least has some water. So we're currently hiking down and we're on the 99 switchbacks. And they're really small. We have taken our rain gear on and off like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times today. Not today. This weekend, it's crazy.
I'm hoping this is for the last time.
So the weather is just so unpredictable. There's a lot of gray sky behind me though, so we'll see. So apparently starting at switchback 23, there's a little creek and you can filter water. It's supposed to be really yummy compared to trail camp.
We made it down the 99 switchbacks and we are now at trail camp and we're going to stop and have some lunch.
It's a marmot. It's like a Sierra rat. It eats everything. So you have to like keep everything in a bear can because it'll eat your food. But they're kind of cute. Almost like a mixture between a, I don't know, like a beaver and a guinea pig maybe? And a rat. I don't know. So behind me is Lake Consolation. It's a gorgeous lake, pretty rugged mountains on each side, and the blue water is really nice.
We're at a trailside meadow as we hike down by the river.
It's really peaceful and pretty. So in the distance is Mirror Lake. So we made it to Mirror Lake. We're gonna go check it out. And down there is Outpost Camp. That's where we're heading.
Outpost Camp is located 3.8 miles from the Whitney Portal trailhead. It is a really nice protected camping site and it also has a really gorgeous waterfall.
So we're making our way down. We have about less than 4 miles left now to the Whitney Portal. And it's down. It is definitely down. We just dropped, what?
4,000 feet.
4,000 feet in, yeah, like 5 hours. Crazy. So tall. So entering the Whitney zone, actually we're exiting the Whitney zone because we started from Cottonwood Pass. It is hailing. This weather is insane. Hailing, raining, sunshine, hailing, raining, sleet, snow, all in the last like 12 hours. And lightning and thunder. Look how big these hails are. They're huge. They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger, and I'm getting pounded by them. It actually kind of hurts. These are crazy. You can see them bouncing off of people. Look at that. Oh, there's another one. I thought we were kind of shaded underneath this tree, but you know, not feeling that protected at this moment. Now the rain is stopping and everything's green and beautiful and the road is in the distance. We're almost there. So we're in the Inyo Wilderness and we just hiked from Cottonwood Pass and we are almost down. We have about a half a mile left and we should be down to the car. So this is the Lone Pine Creek. Pretty nice. Big waterfalls and a little waterfall that you have to cross. But there's pretty good rocks, so we didn't get our feet wet. Pretty cool.
So we made it down, and here's a picture of us starting and us ending the hike. We actually look pretty happy.
So we survived, and now we're going to see how much weight our backpacks lost.
30.
Let's see, it's 34, that's about 10 pounds.
So looks like
About 25.
I feel like it's heavier than 25 though. Maybe the scale's off. It felt heavier than that. But I dropped what, 10 pounds also. So we hiked 15.3 miles today. That was a long way. Now we're gonna celebrate with a Portal burger, apparently. So what is it known for? Burgers. So we got a burger and beer. We didn't get beer, but we're excited for a warm meal.
Zach got a bacon cheeseburger and I got a veggie burger. Hiking from Cottonwood Pass to Mt.Whitney and out the Whitney Portal was an amazing experience, and I highly recommend it because it was very beautiful. If you enjoyed our video, please press the like button and subscribe below to follow more adventures.